you can do that. So, we have here a hearing. Mr. Aaron has filed a lawsuit against the defendant for claiming breaking and entering into your room. They entered.
Yes, they did,
And they stole some money. What is the evidence? Where is the money? And also, they are accusing you of being impersonating a communist. Okay, so I also Amin and Mannix, they have filed a countersuit against Mr. Arun. Where is Mr. Arun?
I represent Mr. Football, yes I do.
Okay, so we are going to hear both cases at the same time. You want to start, Counselor?
The prosecution is supposed to start, right? And then
Okay.
I'll start. Thank you, Your Honor. Is this a jury or is this?
We have a jury.
He's one of my witnesses. I'm here from New York City to represent Mr. Football, who was abused by Mr. Castro and Little Red Riding Hood. You all remember Mr. Football. He represents football here on Halloween Day. Alright. And you also remember, these are original photos. Remember these two, okay? So there's no problem, we just want to put them because the identities, we know who they are. Now, Halloween is a celebration.
Stick to the problem, Mr. Arun.
How long do I have?
Well, you don't have all the day.
Okay. We all go trick-or-treating Halloween. Halloween at GlobalCourt, we have a little group. Every year, here's the group that goes around on Halloween and goes from department to department. And on Halloween, the departments hand out gifts. Now I have a witness who's an expert on Halloween gift giving. But Mr. Ireland.
Yes.
Mr. Ireland, you're an expert on Halloween?
Yes, I am.
What makes you an expert?
I have a master's degree in Halloween studies from the University of Salem. And my great-great-grandfather is Ichabod Crane. And I've gone trick-or-treating for the past 40 years.
Now, Mr. Ireland, will you explain to the court how Halloween gifts are disseminated?
Sure. There's several different ways. One way is the trick-or-treaters come to your door, you answer the door, and you give them candy or gifts into their bag. Another way is you can leave a bowl or something on your porch. If you're not home, they can come and take, one or whatever. You might leave a sign on there. Or people also now tend to go to the malls, and they'll go from store to store and get things. So those are kind of the three ways that they're distributed.
So they do leave out, so people just take what they want if they're not at home. Is that right?
Yes, I've seen that.
Objection. He's leading the witness.
Yeah.
Sustain.
Okay, now, let me describe the scene. We go department to department. People give us candy. We have this here. People threw in candy, paper clips, money, whatever they had available for the spirit of it. When we got to Mr. Castro's desk, he had out pennies for us, which is very thoughtful, not giving us sugar, very health-oriented as he is. We took the pennies, the group, put the pennies in here, and here's a picture of all the pennies. I submit as evidence. Okay? That was the bag with the pennies.
I thought you said it was a jar.
Well, we took them from the jar
You
into
took
the
the pennies
bag.
from the jar.
From the
It's a
jar.
jar or the ball pennies?
Well, we have the jar here. I have a picture of the jar also.
Okay.
That's the jar. Okay?
Is it labeled for Halloween
It wouldn't,
Is it
read the
labeled
label?
for, yeah, can
On
you
the other
please read what you
side,
see
you
on the
can see
label?
it, for Halloween trick-or-treaters. So anyway, here's what happened. We go after the walkabout, we get back to the office, we take pictures, the photographer, lawyer takes pictures of everyone, and as you all know, 31st day of the month is the busiest day for accountants. So Mr. Alun, Mr. Football, was very busy that day. And all of a sudden, this little Red Riding Hood appears. All right? Now, in the 7-8 years that Mr. Football was here, she has never came to his office. Not once. All of a sudden, she's there, and right away he knew something was going on. And as you know, Mr. Football is also in charge of the coffee club and does a fine job. A fine job. What do you say, Mr. Judge?
I agree with you.
So he was down there doing all the coffee thing. He comes back to his office, and being so busy, goes home, next day comes back, and what do we have? All right, here's the office, and here's a picture of the missing pennies. Pennies? No pennies. Where did they go? Where did they go? So, with that, I'd like to call my second witness, Mr. Duke, who can testify and present evidence to know where the pennies went. Mr. Duke, you want to swear him in? You put your right hand. Want to swear him in,
Okay.
Judge?
Should I to tell the truth and nothing more than the truth?
Of course.
Okay.
Before I get to the evidence, we need to get to the credibility.
Oh,
Excuse, objection, are you a lawyer or are you a witness?
He's a witness.
Both.
Jailhouse lawyer.
Judge, those sounds like lawyer statements.
Yeah. You should ask him questions. Okay? You answer only the question. We don't want any stories here. Okay?
Mr. Duke, you have documentation to prove that emails were going back and forth between the defendants.
Oh, I most certainly do.
Could you read some of those emails just quickly?
Okay. This email from Little Red Riding Hood to Fidel Castro, A.K. Indy Max, Messina Men. Thursday, November 1st, I was in Bob's office earlier today, and he told me he couldn't believe the money was taken right from under his nose. I guess I did a good job of keeping a straight face. Excellent. Way to go. Let's keep it up, was the reply from Yassine. Another reply back. Bob just came by asking for the truth. I continued to not know what he was talking about. Ha ha ha.
Can we submit those as evidence? Your Honor, evidence emails.
I would like to request if there's any kind of authentication or notarization of these email evidence. Yes or no?
Yeah, we can have them authorized.
Are they authorized now?
Or did you leave your computer and went to the bathroom and your computer was on?
Yes,
Maybe?
yes.
We'll talk about it later.
I would just like the court to see that
I
there
submit
is.
these are forgeries because Yassine doesn't spell this well. And this is all correct spelling.
Spell check that.
So it cannot be, I mean,
No.
I would just like the court to know there's no signed statement or authorization that these documents are official. So it's possible they are, but it's possible they're forgeries.
Well, let me, I could call the defendants, I don't know if that's appropriate, as
We need-
witnesses to, you know, if these are real or not. But let me continue. Let me move on.